Yada da da, yada da, la la la, ya la la la, la la la, la 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 la, la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la, la la la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Good evening, one and all. Erev Tov, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Belated happy Shavuot, Chag Shavuot Sameach. To those we haven't had a chance to wish that greeting for a beautiful summer harvest festival. Cantor Friedman, welcome. Nice to see you. Hope you've had a nice restful day.
I had a lovely restful day. What a lovely surprise to have the topples drop in.
I know. Nice to see you. Congratulations, Ella.
Thank you.
You are ready to go.
Yeah.
And of course, Leah Jones, thank you for being here. Hello, Mr. Topple.
Shabbos.
Nice to see you.
Shabbos.
Hello, Ella.
Hi.
Good to you. Getting ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Big day.
Ella, are you a special guest star tonight? We weren't expecting you, but if you'd like to do something, we'd be happy.
I think we're just stopping in.
You're just stopping in?
Yeah.
All right, well, it's lovely to see you, sweetie
So
pie.
stop in. Love it. Love it.
Let's see,
What a fun surprise. Okay, very nice. So, Cantor, I think it's time to bring some light to the subject, some sacred light.
I love that idea, Rabbi. And Leah Jones, who's brought so much light into our lives, is
Indeed.
going to be Leah, are you muted?
I am not used to being on this side of the camera for Shabbat services. So, all right. I'm going to hop over to the, all right. This is why I stay behind the scenes. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Amen. And our Kiddush for Erev Shabbat, we invite you to rise either physically or spiritually. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. L'Shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'retzon hinchilanu, zikaron le'maaseh bereshit, ki hu yom tehila le'mikra kodesh, zecher l'tziat mitzrayim, ki vanu v'harta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, l'Shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'ratzon hincharadanu, Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. L'chaim.
L'chaim. Safety first. I have to move the fire and then I can move the PowerPoint.
Right.
Oh,
It was a problem of our ancestors too.
Yes, it
With
is
the
very.
fire to the PowerPoint was
All right.
So want to welcome in particular the McGowan fitters. Just realized we got a message from them at the 11th hour that Seth was going to participate tonight. Cantor, is there a way we can make that happen?
Seth could join us and give the Torah blessing.
Yeah, sounds good. Can we get them into the system? This is not part of the script, everybody.
Here,
no, this
you know
is
what?
very exciting.
This is us getting comfortable with online services. So
Yes.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the PowerPoint, turn off my video, go on email, find the Fitter McGowans, and we're going to get Seth here in time for the Torah reading.
Let's make sure they should identify themselves.
Yes, absolutely. All right.
And Ella, if you don't feel like being front and center, you can sign on to YouTube and so you don't have to worry, or you can stay right where you are, because I love seeing that punim of yours.
All right. Okay. Everybody's on a mission, and we're on a mission to have a beautiful Shabbat. So let us continue. We rise in body and or spirit for our call to worship. Yay, la 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 la. Yay, la 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 la. Yay, la 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 la. Yay, la 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 la. Yay, la 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 la. Yay, la 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 la. Yay, la 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 la. Yay, la 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 la. Baruch hu et Adonai Hamevorach. We had good success with this poem earlier during Yisker this morning. It's a poem by Alden Solovey called God on Tiptoes. It is written especially for Shavuot. What if God arrived unannounced? No smoke, no thunder, a gentle appearance of radiance and love. What if God snuck in on tiptoes? No earthquake, no blast of the shofar, a luminous presence of wonder and glory. What if God's voice whispered in your ear so quietly that you had to hold your breath to hear, a silent surrender of hope and faith? What if holiness packed the empty space with light as your lungs filled with the one divine breath together with every other living being? What if God's voice was as near as your willingness to listen quietly to the soul of the universe as a sense of calm and peace passes through you? What if that moment is now?
And now, watchword of our faith, the Shema. Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shendevor, Mahuto, Leolam Bahar. Shendevor, Leolam Bahar. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי בצווך היום על לבביך ושיננת לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamitenu shomrenu l'chayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen, amen. 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 Amen.
Oh, the party is now complete. Noreen, Seth, we're pleased to have you. Thanks for jumping in here. That was quick work there. Welcome to you both. Very good to have you. Shabbat Shalom. Chag Sameach. Pleased to see you. Thank you so much. Really wonderful. We'll have you do the Torah blessings. Okay.
Turned into quite a party.
You're looking very comfortable and wonderful. I like this. Feeling very summery, perfect for our summer harvest. So what could be possibly next? Maybe the Amidah.
I think the Amidah, Rabbi.
Yes, indeed.
Invite you to rise either physically or spiritually as we continue our service with our standing prayers. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotinu v'Imateinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagara, Hagbar Hagara, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Rekoneh HaKol, V'zocher Hasdei Avot V'imahot, U'mevii Geula Livnei V'nehem, L'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Uzer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Be'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol Atah Ve'Hoshia. Morid Hatam, Mechakel Chayim Bechasad, Mechayeh HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim, Berofeh Humim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato Lishnei Afar, Mi Hamoch Ba'al Givrav, Umido Melach, Melech Mimidu Mechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Atah Lehachayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol. Atah Kadosh Shimcha Kadosh, U'Kedoshim B'chol Yom Yalucha Salah, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
So we take a few moments for silent meditation. Enjoy the moment of personal reflection.
I can make that a little higher for certain people's voices today. See if this is better. Oh, better. We say shalom b'mama. Shalom aleinu. Ve'akol Yisrael. Ve'akol Yoshvei Tevel. Ve'imru. Shalom aleinu, Kol Yisrael, Kol You know, Rabbi, we were blessed in that we were able to celebrate a Hag, the Hag of Shavuot. And so in honor of that and acknowledging our joy and mostly our thanksgiving, because it's so important to have moments of gratefulness in times of struggle, a brief hallel. to celebrate. Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu mitzvotav v'tzivanu likro et ha'halel. And my favorite, because it does sound a little like the Oompa Loompa song. Hodu l'Adonai kitov ki le'olam ha'asdo. Hodu l'Adonai kitov ki le'olam ha'asdo. Yomru Yisrael ki le'olam ha'asdo. Yomru Yisrael ki le'olam ha'asdo. Hodu l'Adonai kitov ki le'olam ha'asdo. Hodu l'Adonai kitov ki le'olam ha'asdo. Yomru Beit Aharon ki le'olam ha'asdo. Yomru Beit Aharon ki le'olam ha'asdo. Hodu l'Adonai kitov ki le'olam ha'asdo. Hodu l'Adonai kitov ki le'olam ha'asdo. Yomru Yirei Adonai ki le'olam ha'asdo. Yomru Yirei Adonai ki le'olam ha'asdo. Hodu l'Adonai kitov ki le'olam ha'asdo. Hodu l'Adonai kitov ki le'olam ha'asdo. Praise Adonai, for Adonai is good. God's steadfast love is eternal. Let Israel declare God's steadfast love is eternal. Let the house of Aaron declare God's steadfast love is eternal. Let all who revere Adonai declare God's steadfast love is eternal.
Cantor, I think we have a mashup coming. Oompa Loompa.
I know. I love our mashup.
That was very
Rabbi.
fun. I definitely
you.
see the resemblance.
Yes.
All right, I think it's time for Seder Kriyat HaTorah for our Shabbat and our Shavuot Shabbat. So I think now is your turn, Seth and Noreen.
I'm ready. I'm going to
Welcome to our virtual village. And thank you for being here to do our Torah blessings.
So before I Shema and then you do Torah blessings, let me just say a brief word of Aseret HaDibrot, the 10 utterances. It is customary, if you'd like, to stand for them. You don't have to, but it is a way of acknowledging and living as our ancestors did, because we all received the gift of Torah, not just the folks that were there. So that's thing one. Thing two is listen to the candlelation. It's like nothing you've ever heard, and yet it's all Torah tropes. Talk about a mashup, Rabbi. It's like gymnastics, but I don't move much when I do it. Okay, so the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol, Kadosh Shemo. Seth and Noreen, would you honor us with the blessing before the reading of Torah? Here it is.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hambarak.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarak Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Anochi Adonai Elohecha asher hotzitecha ticha me'eretz Mitzrayim mibeit avadim lo yechelecha Elohim acherim al panai lo ta'aseh lecha fesel v'chol tmuna asher b'shamayim Mimal ואשר בארץ מתחת, ואשר במים מתחת לארץ. לא תשתחווה לכם ולא תעובדם, כי אנוכי אדוני אלוהיך אלקנה הוקד עוון אבות על בנים, על שלישים ועל רביעים לשונאי, ועושה חסד לאלפים, לאוהבי ושומרי מצוותיי. לא תישא את שם אדוני אלוהיך לשווא, כי לא ינקה אדוני את אשר יישא את שמו לשווא. זכור את יום השבת לקדשו, ששת ימים תעבוד ועשית כל מלאכתך, ויום השביעי שבת לאדוני אלוהיך. לא תעשה כל מלאכה אתה ובנך ובתך, עבדך ואמתך ובהמתך, וגרך אשר בשעריך, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, את הים ואת כל אשר בם, וינח ביום השביעי. על כן ברך אדוני את יום השבת ויקדשהו. כבד את אביך ואת אמך, למען יאריכו ימיך על האדמה אשר אדוני אלוהיך נותן לך. לא תרצח, לא תנאף, לא תגנוב, לא תענה ברעך את שקר, לא תחמוד ברעך. I have to move the picture so I can see the rest of the page. There we go. לא תחמוד אשת רעך, ועבדו ואמתו ושורו וחמורו, וכל אשר לרעך. If you go back, I will translate to the best of my abilities. I am Adonai, your God, and I have brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You will have no other gods besides me. You will not make for yourself a sculptured image, not of anything that is of the heavens above, or of the earth below, or of the waters that are below the earth. And you shall not bow down to them, and you shall not serve them, because I, Adonai, your God, am a zealous and overpassionate God, and I visit the iniquity of the fathers unto the children through the third and the fourth generations that hate me. And I show loving kindness to the thousands of generations that love me and keep my commandments. You shall not bear false witness using the name of the Lord your God, because the Lord will not clear the punishment of those who swear falsely using God's name. Next slide, please. Keep the Sabbath day and make it holy. 6 days you may labor and do your work, but on the seventh day, a Sabbath to God, to Adonai your God, you may do You may not do your work. You, not your sons, not your daughters, not your male servant, not your female servant, not your cattle, not the stranger within your gates. Because 6 days God worked to make the heavens and to make the earth. And on that day, all that is within it. And God rested on the 7th day, and God blessed the 7th day and called it holy. And now my personal favorite commandment: honor your father and your mother, that you may long live, that your days might be full upon the earth that Adonai your God has given you. Do not murder. Do not commit adultery. Do not steal. Do not bear false witness against your neighbor. Do not covet the house of your neighbor. Do not covet. Oh, wait a minute. Are we missing one? I'd check here. Low. Oh, we're missing the coveting the neighbor's wife, but we're going to go on. Don't covet your neighbor's servant, his male servant, his female servant, his ox or his donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. All right, Seth and Nor.
Melech Halom, Asher Natan Lanu Torah Emet, V'Haye Olam Nata B'Tohenu, Baruch Atah Adonai, Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen.
I saw a shit. Now I saw it. The neighbor's wife was there. We're good.
Outstanding, Cantor Friedman. What a tour de force. So firstly, you work very hard. Reminds me of a good solid morning workout, because that's when our ancestors heard this for the first time. And, why not engage in a rigorous reception, of Matan
Sure.
Torah, of the gift of Torah. Very hard work to live up to Torah, certainly worthwhile to try, but it requires spiritual muscles. You are a very strong person with lots of spiritual muscles. You manage that beautifully. Kol hakavod, yashar kochach. I didn't welcome Hannah Toppel. I see her somewhere. Hello, Hannah. Shabbat shalom to you. Glad you could join your dad and your sister. Getting ready for your sister's big celebration. Ella, are you feeling ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, good. I'm pleased to see you all.
Yeah.
Of course,
Wouldn't be very good if I wasn't.
there you go. That's right. Yeah, that's right. You're here front and center, ready to go. So in case you want to do the Devar Torah now, you could. Tomorrow's fine.
She could.
Tomorrow's fine.
She could.
Tomorrow's fine. So, and Noreen and Seth, nice to see you. I know you're here for a yard site. Isn't that right? May your mom's memory be a blessing, Seth. So, well, let us continue by diving into this moment of celebration with some words of Torah. We have a lot to think about on this Shabbat, a lot to think about in this moment of summer harvest as we celebrate the Feast of Weeks, Shavuot. It's been 7 weeks since Passover. 7 weeks since we celebrated our Zman Cherutenu, our season of freedom, our time for redemption. And the promise of Passover each year, of course, is that we will also be so free that next year, L'Shana Haba'ah, we'll celebrate Pesach in Jerusalem, and all will be well. the Messianic era will arrive, and with it, universal peace and justice and spiritual uplift for all. I can't wait. And yet, I've been waiting for this amazing moment my whole life. How about you? Surely the pandemic is not speeding things up. The more the weeks press on, the more I personally speak with folks who are really lonely. The more I learn of unemployment and financial hardship, the more I see laid bare the racism that has always held our nation back from its true inclusive greatness. I see the streets of Minneapolis on fire. I see a city and a nation grieving yet another lethal act of police brutality. I see George Floyd's brother crying out for justice, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, life for a life. I see such a vicious cycle of betrayal and distrust and brazen dishonesty from our highest offices. Chevre, against this backdrop, how is empathy to blossom? How is hope to flower? How is trust to bloom? Are we really free while so many are not? Will this blessed promise of Passover ever become real? The truth is, for me, I take great comfort in the festival of Shavuot. Our summer harvest festival comes as we are reeling collectively. Shavuot comes like a beautiful summer day with the sun shining warmly on our face. No, the moment is not suddenly made completely sunny. Shavuot is not that powerful, but it does bring perspective. And perspective lends to resilience. And resilience sustains us so that we may become and remain a force for good in the world. And we need more of that collective force in this moment. During Passover, we recognize there is nothing better than Pharaoh taking a hike and taking up less space or no space in our souls. Passover champions freedom, and we love freedom. We love the freedom to speak our minds. We love the freedom to move about. We love the freedom not to live in fear. We love the freedom to act according to our fondest desires. But then again, one could argue, and I will argue, our fondest desires in some ways can be the very problem we witness in life today. Or more affirmatively, they are the very problem we witness in life today. In the words of contemporary Israeli philosopher Menachem Kellner, desire can be predatory when it eats at our own hearts. And then I would add, we devour others with our covetous appetites. Presidents do it. Rogue cops do it. Everyday people who usually are decent do it, or at least are not immune to it. That includes you and me some of the time. This is why we have the 10th and arguably most important of the Aseret HaDibrot that Cantor Friedman so beautifully chanted. And the 10th of the Aseret HaDibrot handed down from Sinai. Lo tachmod, you shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, or his male or female slave, or his ox or his donkey or anything that is your neighbor's. Returning to the wisdom of Professor Kellner, in the place of desire, God seeks to seal the passion of the covenant to make our hearts whole. A holy nation is not only a law-abiding nation, it is a nation that has internalized the value inherent in our laws. The 10th commandment, lo tachmod, thus teaches us that while mitzvot are a way of life, they are not ends in themselves. They are not something to covet. They are a means, though, to a further end. And what is that end? Professor Kellner says, the formation of holy character. Lo tachmod is not only a strategy for sacred Jewish community, it is also a healing balm of justice and compassion and kindness, of tzedek, of rachmanut, of chesed, that our nation so desperately needs. But why, Chevre, is it not easier to achieve this wholeness? After all, who would argue with the logic of loving our neighbors or seeking peace or treating each other, B'Tselem Elohim, in God's image, full of intrinsic worth? We wouldn't have any arguments over the logic of these mitzvot. But the problem is not the values themselves. The challenges lie with us, with our vulnerable and fragile humanity. In the words of Rabbi Irving Greenberg, freedom then must be earned. Yes, God grants us freedom from Pharaoh during Passover. And we are thankful for that freedom. We are thankful for that chofesh. But that doesn't mean God forces us to be free. Rabbi Greenberg tells us in truth, freedom cannot be given to another. And this is the essence of Shavuot. We must take the Torah. We must take the commandments like lo tachmod, and we must then imprint God's loving wisdom on our hearts. That is what true freedom is. Cherut, we call it. It's when Torah, the Torah of lo tachmod, is imprinted upon our hearts. Then we start to really understand the power of freedom. A freedom that we must own ourselves and practice ourselves if we're going to bring it to the world around us. And so with this beautiful wisdom of Torah, with these mitzvot imprinted upon our hearts, with God's loving wisdom imprinted upon our souls, and with that wisdom guiding us and framing our action in life, we can hope to do something very important, especially at a time like this. With this wisdom guiding us, framing our actions in life, we can hope to build a bridge from the world as it is, a world that is so often hurtful, to a world as it should be, a world in which we use our freedom to make this fragile ball upon which we live more whole, more firm, more enduring. Chevre, freedom is hard work. Freedom is not free. Freedom must be earned with mitzvot like lo tachmod, which keeps our desires from devouring others, including ourselves. So I ask you, do you ever wonder why we read the book of Ruth during Shavuot? If you'd like, maybe put some answers in the chat box. Well, some of you might say that the book of Ruth reflects the summer harvest. You would be right. Some of you might say that Ruth embodies the covenant and models the power of conversion. Perfect answer. Ruth is connected to King David and the Messianic line. Bingo. King David died on Shavuot. Indeed, he did. These are all normative answers, but none of these get at the kishkas of why Ruth is so important, especially as we consider the chaos and pain of this pandemic, of this difficult moment in our lives. Megillat Ruth flows out of a great sense of loss and betrayal. Here, a great famine overwhelms Judah. Ruth's fiance and father-in-law abandon their loved ones and then sadly die in Moab. Ruth's fiance, childless. So absurd is this moment, Rabbi Greenberg tells us, that it's hard to figure the meaning of it all. But Ruth proves herself to be an endless well of love. And she, in turn, feels great loss. She still loved her husband and never wanted him to die childless. In response to this summary, Rabbi Greenberg adds the following words, which I quote here. The covenant of love extends beyond the grave. Ruth loved Naomi, her living mother-in-law, and would not let her go away alone and impoverished. Although there was no hope or reason for it, and there was no visible redeemer to keep the family name alive, Ruth insisted on going with Naomi. She acted out of chesed, out of loving kindness that saw not only the bleak reality, but the possibilities of redemption that may still break through the harsh surface of an unredeemed world. Ruth remained faithful. She joined Naomi's people and embraced Naomi's God, and incredibly, out of this barren, rocky soil grew hope. An act of kindness, a relative who cared. A marriage followed, and a child was born who became the grandfather of David, from whom would come the Messiah. Out of faithfulness comes hope. Out of suffering comes redemption. Out of love comes renewed life. Out of faithfulness comes hope. Out of suffering comes redemption. Out of love comes renewed life. Chavrei, this is the essential message of Shavuot, right here in Megillat Ruth, here during our Feast of Weeks, here as we celebrate Matan Torah, the giving of Torah, and importantly, the Kabbalat Torah, the receiving of Torah. We also reaffirm Shavuot, not just as a moment to remember our freedom of Passover, which we enjoyed 7 weeks ago, but also Shavuot becomes a moment to rededicate ourselves to earning our freedom by standing at Sinai, receiving the mitzvot, and committing to living them for the rest of our days. And Shavuot is the holiday that perhaps best reminds us that the bridge between the world as it is and the world as it should be is built by receiving Torah and impressing it upon our hearts and taming our ravenous desires. This is our charge on this Shavuot, on this Shabbat, for all the days of our lives. And if we want to live a life of hope and faith and purpose and resilience, and we want to ultimately achieve redemption, even when it seems impossible, we will have to stay faithful and hopeful by using our freedom to be a force for good, which means not doing whatever we want, but doing what must be done to bring tikkun, to bring healing to our world. And with that, I wish you a Shabbat Shalom and a Chag Shavuot Sameach and all the strength in the world and resilience to carry forward and to struggle on so that we may bring healing to the world. I think we're ready for Mishaberach.
Yes, and then are we going to read a little bit of Ruth after that?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes. Yes. Ruth is such a healing soul and such a loving and graceful soul that I think she would want us to wait to tell more about her story while we think about these folks in need of refuah shlema.
It is an extraordinary story. For sure.
Ruth is a great healer, and so I think she would say, let's do the Mishaberach first, and then we'll move forward. So in that spirit, friends, we think of the following in need of healing: Noreen Alper, Judy Altman, Tanya Barliant, Teresa Busher, David Burchett, Vega Sorabat Chaya, Linda Danielson, Dr. Joseph Fair, Francine Fields, Lana Fields, Carter Glass, Don Grandolfo, Mimi Harris, I seem to be missing one. Oh, Dr. Karen Hawk, Werner Hyman, Jane Herron, Priscilla Hill, Walter Ivy, Harold Katz, Kate Kelly, Molly Klee, Anne-Marie Kuleza, Robert Langfelder, Holly Lipschultz, Roy Lloyd, Stephen Martinez, Gerald Marks, Richard MacArthur, Dr. James McCreary, Stephen Melnick, Deep Meserve, Deborah Miller, Jimmy Miller, Scott Montgomery, Moshe Ben Chava, Venatan, Jordan Ehrenberg, Nicole Newcomb, Larry O'Neill, Don Olson, Mark Perlman, Richard Price, Jamie Raffleson, Alan Sager, Kristen Rouse Skinner, Betty Rudolph, Leah Batsara, Maria Sklyanskaya, Linda Stahl, Tali Stein, Kirk Stokes, Michael Van Buren, Virginia Wharton, Nachum Feivel, Ben Gedayu, Masha. Any additions or corrections?
Yes, we have additional names from our congregation: Eric Kuleza, Jose Alvarez, Phil Goldstucker, Becky Hanscom, Roby Wayne, Kevin Kaiser, Carmel Glarner, Bella Eisenstadt, Stacy Robinson, Mindy Jordan, Rabbi Douglas Goldhammer, Michael Ferrara, Masha Versh, Leo Jacoel, Allison Good, Bonnie Fields Leibovich, Debbie Watts, Carmen Villa, Tina Ortega, Carol Cohen, Carol Baker, Marilyn Myers, Mindy Solomon, Jose Pagan, Stuart and Terry Epstein, Gregory Sklavos, the City of Minneapolis, Bonnie Perstein, and Tracy Asher. I don't, do either of our guests have names? Seth, did you have a name, or the Topples?
Linda Moskowitz.
Thank you. All right.
Well, we wish all these souls and all those reeling from COVID-19 and the malaise that blankets our nation, to the extent that we are feeling physically or spiritually or emotionally drained by these struggles, we wish a refuah shlema, a renewal of body and spirit to all. Cantor, please. Chevre, I'm going to read verses 16 and 17 and 18. I'm going to look at a different page to do that. And first, we're going to do the blessing over reading a Megillah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al mikra Megillah. Blessed are you, eternal our God, sovereign over the universe, who has sanctified us with commandments and commanded us concerning the reading of Megillat Root. Vatomer Root El tifkivi le'ozvech lashuv me'acharayich ki el asher telchi elech uvasher talini alin amecha ami ve'elohayich Elohai asher tamuti amut v'sham ekaverko ya'aseh Adonai li v'cho yosif ki chamavet yafrid beini uveinech vatere ki mit ametzet hi lalechet ita vatechdal lidaber elecha. So she said, see, your sister-in-law has returned to her people and her gods. Go follow your sister-in-law. But Ruth replied, do not urge me to leave you, to turn back and not follow you. For wherever you go, I will go. Wherever you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God my God. Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. Thus and more may the Eternal do to me, if anything but death parts me from you. And we'll do a special Shechianu as our closing blessing. Unusual, but a nice way to bring in this moment of celebration of Ruth, her legacy, Matan Torah, the legacy of Sinai, and celebration not only of Shabbat, but our summer festival, our harvest festival. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shechianu v'kimanu v'hegianu lazman hazeh. Amen. Blessed are you, Adonai, sovereign over time and space, gives us life and sustains us and brings us to beautiful moments of celebration and recognition, and most importantly, responsibility to be a force for good and to find great joy in the freedom that catapults us to our greatest human potential. And we say amen ve'amen. All right, Cantor, I think we're ready to button up our service.
I'm ready to button. We rise, either physically or spiritually, please. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו כהמונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו Ehad.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. So we continue by taking into our hearts those who have died recently or in years past at this season. And we recognize, particularly during this celebration, Shabbat, Shavuot, Shavuot, Shabbat, that our Sinai experiences mark for us Kabbalah, a chain of tradition. This moment is made more important. This moment matters more because of the lives we remember and how those lives still matter to us, and how living a life of Torah becomes a way in which we make the losses of those we mourn matter. What a powerful opportunity. What a powerful act of responsibility and freedom, all wrapped up into one. So in that spirit, we think of those who have died in recent weeks: Bertha G. Dalton, Charlotte Dubin. In addition, we observe the following Yahrzeichen: Shirley Abman, Arlene Edelman, Patrick Allen, Trina Adler Goodman Berkowitz, Harold Berry, Olga Blatt, Elias Bonham, Jeanette Decker, Seymour Ender, Sylvia S. Fishman, Pearl Fitter, Eugene J. Flaster, Mary Hertz Golden, Ella Wolf Hausman, Rebecca Leah Hecht, Joseph Hewitt, Fanny Holt, Joseph Kramer, Laura Lapidus, Jeanette Levy, Daisy McLaurin, Marilyn Miller, Roberta Netchin, Samuel G. Orenstein, Louis Perlman Jr., Philip Plasofsky, Alex Pomerantz, Michael I. Reifel, or Rafael, Ronald Rubin, Jacob Samuelson, Albert L. Schlossberg, Sylvia Shargel, Sadie Solomon, Melvin K. Solon, Alexander Lawrence Stahl, Howard Wax, Herbert Lewis Weiner, Robin Weisberg, Rochelle White Washington. Any additions, corrections, repronunciations?
Yes, additional names from our congregation include George Floyd, Eugene Pavilon, Gary Myers, Phyllis George, Larry Kramer, and Yetta Grabelski.
Well, we say Zichronam Livracha to all these souls and all those for whom there's no one left to say Kaddish. Somehow or another, we mingle their memories with love into our hearts. And so let us pray. We rise in body and or spirit, or as is our custom. Yit Kadal, Yit Kadash, Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma Divra Chrute, V'yamlich Malchute, B'chayachon, Yom Echon, Chaye Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala V'zman Kariv, Ve'meru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Leolam Almei Almaya, Yitvarach V'yishtabach V'yitvar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar V'yitale V'yitalal Shemei Dekudsha Barichu, Le'la min kol birchata V'shirata, Tushbechata V'nechamata, Damiran Be'alma V'meru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chayim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'meru Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Uya Aseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'meru Amen. May the one who makes peace in the heavens bring peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And we say, Amen. So I would like, before we close, to say to you that tomorrow night, we're having a very special tikkun So ordinarily we would have a Tikkun Leil Shavuot. It would have been last night, but given the pandemic and quarantine, it was impossible for us to gather, and we couldn't do an online Tikkun during Chag. We'd leave out our Orthodox friends and anybody else who doesn't go on electronics on Shabbat, on Chag, and Shabbat for that matter. So tomorrow, 9:30 p.m. online, we will start with Havdalah, and then we're going to study a text from Mishnah Berurah, and then have some classes all the way to 1 a.m. That might, by the way, you're going to probably not believe this, but that's a short tikkun. That's like super early to finish at 1 a.m. My brother, by the way, was teaching a tikkun today at 4 a.m. Pacific time. Crazy. Anyway, if you want to join in on that tikkun and you don't have the information, we do have a teaser on our Emmanuel YouTube page. I believe we have stuff on our Emmanuel website. You can email me. I'll be looking for some emails because I want you to participate. So I'll look for your email. So it should be a really great experience. Anything else?
No, you know about our virtual village, right? 5959 online. It's where everybody's going. Everybody.
It's the place to be.
Right.
Ah.
And I'm sorry.
Oh, we can even see our service going on now.
Right. You can get a very roundabout way. As always, you can check our calendar for events, upcoming events. But also tomorrow night, we continue our further extending our reach of Havdalah. So tomorrow night, Deb Porter and Ruthie Seidner will be leading Havdalah. And it's a great opportunity for people to get involved. We are taking names of families who would like to show us how you do Havdalah, and I will get online with you and help you lead our YouTube Havdalah on YouTube.
Brilliant, great. Any bits of information you want to share from the chat box regarding the question? Kind of answered the question, so maybe people had some different ideas, or if not,
I am a little teched out.
No
I have
problem.
too many tabs open, but I did find the slide with our closing song for tonight, which
Sounds
is where
good.
my energy and attention just went.
All right, if you put that up, then we'll play and then we'll conclude. Sometimes I lay under the moon. I thank God I'm breathing. Then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play one day, one day, one day. Oh, one day, Yom Echad, Yom Echad. It's not about win or lose. We all lose when the souls of the innocent, when they feed on the souls of the innocent, blood-drenched pig. Sorry, let's try that again. It's not about win or lose. We all lose when they feed on the souls of the innocent, blood-drenched pavement. Keep on moving though the waters stay raging. In this haze you can lose your way. Your way, it
It might drive you crazy, but don't let it faze you. No way, no way. Join me. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play one day, one day, one day. Oh, last time. One day, one day, one day. Oh, 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 oh. Sorry, we'll practice that for next week. Let's bless. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May Adonai bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'huneka.
May God smile upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha. Shalom.
May God lift up God's face to you. May God shine in you. May God shine through you. And may God grant you the greatest of all gifts, the gift of peace.
Amen.
Hear out song.
Shabbat Shalom, Chag Sameach. We'll see you tomorrow for Ella Toppel's Bat Mitzvah. We'll see you for Tikkun in the evening. Let me know if you need help getting in. And goodbye, Seth and Noreen and Leah. Thank you. Cantor, thank you.
A pleasure, Rabbi.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.